In this video, I will be reading Kennedy, Honesty, a Hallmark of Japan-U.S. Alliance, the article as it appears on the February 2nd, 2014 edition of ST News or Asahi, maybe the Asahi News? Asahi Weekly? Anyway, I'm sure you can find this. It's an interview of Caroline Kennedy. So let's get to it. Question. The U.S. Embassy in Tokyo issued a statement in response to the visit by Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to Yasukuni Shrine, expressing disappointment. What was the intention of the U.S. government in issuing the statement? Answer. One of the hallmarks of a strong partnership is the ability to speak honestly with each other when there are differences. Japan is a valued ally and friend. We are close partners on a host of issues that will not change. Having said that, I think the wording of our statement was clear. The United States is concerned about tension in the region, and we were disappointed by the Prime Minister's decision. We heard from a lot of different people after the statement, not just in social media, but in all sorts of different ways. There are a lot of opinions out there. One of the great things about serving in a democracy is that I get to hear what everyone thinks. Question. How has China's recent establishment of the Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ, over the East China Sea changed the regional security environment? Answer. We have been quite clear that China's declaration of an ADIZ in that area was a provocative act, an attempt to unilaterally change the status quo. It increases the risk of miscalculation, confrontation, and accidents. The United States does not recognize the recently announced ADIZ. It will not change how the United States conducts military operations in the region. I cannot overstate the importance of the Asian region, including China, to the future of the United States. The recognition that the history of the 21st century will be written in Asia is at the core of the U.S. rebalance. And Japan, as our most valued ally and trusted friend, is at the center of that strategy. We want a constructive engagement with China, but at the same time, the U.S.-Japan relationship is not defined or dictated by China's actions. Our partnership is a forward-looking relationship that will shape the future of Asia to ensure it is one of continued peace and prosperity. Japan is our most valued partner. Question. With regard to the issue of Japan lifting its self-imposed restriction on the right to collective self-defense, you stated at the Senate confirmation hearing that you hope to work to make people understand and are supportive of the process. You hope to work to make sure people understand and are supportive of that process. Are you still supportive of the process? Answer. Whether Japan should reinterpret its constitution is an issue for the Japanese people and their elected representatives to decide, after genuine and informed debate. However, the U.S. understands why some in Japan would like to revise some of their restrictions. Japan will be a more effective alliance partner if its self-defense forces are able to help defend American soldiers or sailors if they are attacked while, for example, participating in a peacekeeping operation, or if they are targeted by a hostile mission strike. Japan has proven over decades that it is a peaceful country firmly rooted in democratic values, a country that makes enormous positive contributions to the region and the world. Japan will be an even more effective alliance partner as it enacts its security policies transparently and explains those policies to its neighbors. By building trust among its neighbors, Japan can more confidently play a constructive role in regional and global security affairs. Question. You said you have said you want to help strengthen the ties between young people in Japan and the United States. With the number of Japanese students studying in the United States declining, what kind of initiatives can the United States and Japan develop together to reverse this trend? Answer. That is such an important question because the U.S.-Japan alliance is built on decades of personal relationships, mutual interests, cultural curiosity, and understanding. The challenge is that each generation needs to feel the excitement of learning about another culture in ways that are relevant to that generation. The US and Japanese governments, educational institutions, and companies need to make studying abroad easier and more rewarding for today's young people. We are already working hard on that. The United States and Japan share a commitment to doubling two-way student and youth exchanges by 2020. Prime Minister Abe has made educational internationalization a component of his growth strategy, and we are looking at structural ways to align the academic and job recruiting calendars with study abroad opportunities. 50 years ago, our alliance faced difficult times. One of the responses that President Kennedy and Prime Minister Hayato Ikeda came up with was to create KULCON, United States-Japan Conference on Cultural and Educational Interchange, which is still going strong and sponsoring outstanding students in both countries. After the devastating Great East Japan earthquake and tsunami, my predecessor John Roos heard from the mayor of Rikuzentakata that kids in the Tohoku region needed hope. Building on the success of the military operations Tomodachi, Ambassador Roos and others worked to create the Tomodachi Initiative, a public-private partnership that sends Japanese high school and college students to the US. Surveys show that Japanese and American students want to study in each other's countries. We need to make it possible for even more of them to do so. Question. Your tweet regarding the drive dolphin hunt in Taiji, Wakayama Prefecture drew a lot of attention in Japan. Why did you make that comment? Answer. Well, people had been writing to me and tweeting and emailing and calling the United States, calling the embassy here. Hundreds and hundreds of people have been doing this for the last few weeks. And so I thought it was really important to make our policy known. And we have a long-standing policy of protecting these mammals since 1972 in the United States. And the US government has a policy on this. Drive hunt fisheries are unsustainable and inhumane. So I thought it was important to clarify that and put that out there. Question. Will you continue to express your views and your own ideas through Twitter, not just on this issue, but overall? Answer. That's an important way of communicating, especially with younger people, and so, yes, I do plan to continue it. I have been doing it since I've been here, and it's been interesting because you can have a conversation and a dialogue. And I know a lot of people have tweeted back to me, both people who agree and people who disagree. So I think that that's all very healthy. It's interesting, of course. That's how you find out what people are thinking about and what's important to them. So I think it's important to do this on a number of different topics, and hopefully I can start a conversation on many important issues. The end.